folks, and welcome to another episode of CrystalMind Chronicles. And welcome to the Desert of the Mind. Yes, I have started constructing the meditation chamber, and this took a fair amount of time. I used the RF Tools builder over yonder to make the initial shape, but then it actually is really hard to use, so I just had to dig the rest of it by hand. And then we laid out about 6,000 amethyst dust. It's a pretty satisfying texture. Anyways, the next step, which I'm already starting to work on, is to black out all the distractions, right? All this ore and stone, it gets in the way of my meditation, my hexing, and we can't have that. So we're going to make a whole bunch of black concrete. And so that's one of the things I've been working on off camera. We have some additional decoration here. Hope you like it. And I don't know, just in general have progressed a whole bunch. So we're kind of doing a status update. One of the things I couldn't show very much of was the finalized build over here. This and this. So this is the finalized warp stem tree farm, which I think I'm not going to be able to show the building footage of. Just afraid that's sort of the way it is. Oh, by the way, this is on a timer now, so it's not going to bother us quite so much. It's on a 30-second timer, which makes my life much better. Anyways, this is a pretty straightforward machine. Let's go ahead and power it. There we go. And now it's on. And it will just occasionally make warp stem. It grows in places. It then uses chop. I haven't run it for very long, and it already made probably enough warp stem for me to build an entire colony. And I absolutely could have used a lever here, but I sort of like this one better. I don't know. I had a note block lying around from an accidental craft, and I was like, I'm going to make one of those piston toggle switches. And of course, we've got the hopping furnace. It's still running full speed whenever I want it. And so that is super fun to watch, and it will come over here and start dropping in all of the stuff over here. Just our smelt runes and a little bit of launch. It's really quite fun. We made it on a stream. But the next thing I started working on was heading down here and going past here. This machine is a little bit loud, but it's basically just some Cobbleworks. There's these cobble for days gens, and they just run into pulverizers. That's all they do. And pulverizers have a chance to make gravel and sand and flint. And so that's what I've asked them to do. And this system is wired up carefully with integrated dynamics so that this part of it all runs as expected, but then this part is technically connected to the network. So that's pretty nice. We're probably at a place now where I don't need to run this anymore, so I'm just going to click that off, and all that does is just cut the power. So this will eventually wind down, and then it will stop stealing my power. I wanted to run it for a while just to see my reactor run. We'll have to expand that pretty soon because the mod pack updated and there's a whole bunch of stuff we want. But we'll need more power for that. That was not what I expected to have happen. Woo, there we go. We do need to work on making the black concrete. In order to make the black concrete, we're going to have to, well, make a lot of it. This is probably, I think I did the math a while ago, and it was like over 1,100 black concrete to get the whole surface done. So we're going to need a lot of black dye. A lot of black dye. Hundreds of black dye. And there's a bunch of things I could do, but I think probably what I'd like to do is maybe walk back over here, not get hit by my tree farm, find one of these. Beautiful, isn't it? I think that we're going to try and set up a system to just rapidly make these flowers. And then it should be really straightforward to make just an absolute boatload of black dye. So we're going to do that. All right, folks. Well, I don't want to, make an infinitely large black dye factory. I think that I'm probably going to be good on black concrete after I handle, the big dome. I'll probably be sick of this stuff. So, what we need to do to dupe this stuff, there's a famous trick you can do. Let me just grab a little bit of redstone here right out of the recipe. See, I just made an observer, and I think this still works. This used to be the way that we do it. And now if we toss something in and then we hit it with a button. Yeah, should go crazy, and we toss that in, and it's annoying, right? But we don't need this to run for too long. We just need to run this for, you know, maybe 10, 15 minutes, and then every time we break this, right, then we'll get another one coming out, right? So just like that. Now, next thing I need to do is bone meal it. Unfortunately, I've got an absolute boatload of bone meal. So I should be good there. And that's just another dispenser, I think. Oh my god, stop. Thank you. Maybe I should put a lever on there or something. That's going to be rough. But yeah, all we got to do then is just run the same clock over the top and etc. It'll be pretty straightforward overall. And then we need to actually, once we have all that stuff, we need to break it down and craft it. Can probably use integrated dynamics for that. That's probably the only thing that's actually fast enough. So yeah, let me go ahead and get the other pieces of that laid out, and then we'll do the integrated dynamics part together, I suppose. One moment. One thing I am curious about is how I'm going to break the flowers, right? And I think maybe what I can do is use a breaker from modular routers. I haven't actually used this before, so let's give it a shot just together. We could even match by dropped items. So we could say like only break it if this is what we're looking at. Yeah, match by dropped items. I think that'll mean that it'll only break those things. So let's leave it off of eco mode for a sec. It should be on as of now, I think, right? It's configured front. Oh no, we've actually done the opposite of what we wanted. This is what we want to break. We could have actually stop listed the, this is not what we wanted. We could have stop listed the other stuff too. But yeah, let's just grab a couple more of these. They will come back. I am sure we have enough mana to do this. And we'll just turn these into more of this and put these in here. Now, like, I think the flowers are going to go flying everywhere, but like, there we go. I mean, that's pretty straightforward. That's great. It's not the fastest thing in the world, but these things multiply super quick. So now we just need to make a feedback loop, right? Because these things get crafted into mystical black petals. Can I actually, is there a crafting module for this? Probably not, right? Like pushing, blast, I don't know. I don't see any crafter. So I guess, what kind of crafters do we have these days? We have the mechanical crafter. That would almost be good enough. We do have the RF tools crafter and the sequential fabricator. But maybe we should use integrated dynamics because it would be easier overall. I think it might be easier in the long run because it will run without power, and we don't really have power over here. So, yeah, I guess it's not too bad. We can probably just do this, right? So we'll just put a crafting interface here. Let's grab our cable here and boop, 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 right? And then I guess if I get an item exporter and I put that here, and then I have to tell it what to export, and I need to tell it where the storage is, right? So we do need to have one of those inventory or item connector things. Item, oh, went a bit crazy there. Item, yeah, one of these item interfaces. Still open the chest, no problem. Connect that. We have a little tiny integrated dynamics network here. I don't know how this goes over there. I guess I can sneak out stuff from underneath if I have to, but I bet you there's an ejector or an item mover or something. I'll figure that out in a moment. But assuming we could get the tall flowers in here, right? What we'd want to do is, yeah, let's go ahead and pull those out for the moment. here's my logic programmer. Do I have any variables in my backpack? No. I've got some over here though. What I need to do now is tell this how to make black petals. I guess I could multiply any die this way, right? But let's focus first on making the black petals in huge supply, right? Like that's what we want. We want all the black petals, as much as we can get, because then we can make all the black dye, and that will be fantastic. Recipe, right? And if we take this and this, that adds it in. And there, we have taught this little microcrafting system how to work. It says white. I think it's okay. I think that's probably just a rendering thing. And then we want to, I guess, we want to tell the logic programmer that we have to export this item, right? Boop, one of those out here. I think we can tell it to craft. And if we shove all these in here, and then we tell this, export items, I think we can ask it to craft, right? Craft, yeah, right? And then we toss this in here. We should be seeing a whole bunch of them come in, right? So that should outrun that. All we have to do now is push the flowers back in here, and then I just occasionally have to empty the dispenser out, right? I could wrap it around and get another interface and pull out stuff, I suppose. Like I could round robin push black flower petals out to a storage. Maybe that's worth doing. Let's just grab another chest and another exporter. Toss that in, and let's program up once again. We need some petals, and we'll set these up to be round robin. I think that's the right call, and that way we'll automatically make that. I could even set up another thing where I probably could, right? Like I yank out the crafting here and then put it back, like petals that go in here and put them out over there. Maybe that would be good. We could do more than one thing. It would be a little bit trickier to program, but I guess that would be nice to just have a chest full of black dye. This has grown a little bit, but again, I don't want to run it forever. Let's go like this. Set this up. For now, I'll avoid the auto crafting, right? And we'll put it in here. Export item. Round robin. Craft, right? Like that. And that should, in theory, all we have to do is figure out now how to move the flowers over. So is there like an ejector or something? I noticed that it wasn't pushing out. Is there like a modular eject? Dispense, maybe? Distributor, dropper. Droppers push into other things, right? Maybe that's what we want? I mean, I know distributor does it for sure, and so does sender. This should push out the back, right? And it should push anything it gets. Is that now working? That's not working at all. Okay, calm down. That is not working even a little bit. So a dropper, even though I think a vanilla dropper would do that, right? Is it a sender or a puller or maybe a pusher? Sender. Sends items from the router's buffer into an inventory directly along the XYZ axis. Okay, wait, that is what we want. A sender. I love it. I actually like this mod. I think this mod is cool. Sender, Mark 1. This mod is fun, even if it is a little bit, I guess, we'll take out the back. Opaque to me? I haven't practiced with it. All right. How about now? Nice. And so now we'll hopefully be outrunning our use. Yeah, we're outrunning our use for sure. So, and we've actually got a whole bunch of stuff over here. So I guess it would make sense to yank out of this and autocraft as well. I don't know if this is running at max speed or what. This should be, oh, this needs to be round robin, by the way. Thank you. But like, is there, I think that runs at full speed. I think the speed limit for this is actually the crafting interface. So why don't we make another one of those? It's a little, maybe, you know, we'll just move these over. It may seem wasteful, but we'll move these over to the other system in a sec, or like the main system. And you never can have enough autocrafters, right? I actually don't know how to make these like faster. I wish I did. That's like something I don't fully understand about integrated dynamics. And one of the things I like about it is that there's always room to learn. So, what do we need to do to make this work? We need another storage. Oh, I don't like this. I don't like this. Oh, I feel much better about that now. And then we... Oh, whoa. Is that... Is that just sucking all of them out? I would think that that would be like in stasis. No, it definitely sucks them all out. Because this is set to round robin. But so should this? Or is this one just no, it's set to round robin. I'm surprised. Oh, is this one not set to... This one's set to craft. So is this one, though, right? Let's just run it for a while. Let the system back up a little bit. And I think that'll be fine. Maybe we just need to figure out... Just let it run for a bit, back up, and then worry about this. So I'll just yank this off, right? System's going to run just fine the way it is. It's going to fill up, and then I can worry about auto-crafting all of the petals. Frankly, it hardly even matters. So there we go. We're starting to get that going. So the next problem that we're going to have, friends, is that we're going to need to basically make the concrete powder and then wet it. Now, this is, well, I mean, I guess we could look at... I don't want to build a big concrete factory. I could build something with create, but I feel like if I'm making... And you can also see here, right, that there is stuff we could do with tinkers if we fill it up with water. What are we doing over here? Yeah, we're going to have plenty of black dye real quick. I almost wonder if it's not. Maybe it's... Shouldn't over-engineer it. It's going to be fine. I can convert that all in a moment's notice. But we have to go ahead and do that. Now, we could do create, tinkers. There's a fluid extractor that does this. The painting machine does this, I guess. There's a chemical injector to do it. I don't know. It all seems like it would be a lot of work and slow. So maybe I should come up with a way that I could do it fast. Like, if I could just stand for 5 or 6 minutes and do something repetitive, but it's over all in a moment, that would be, like, really nice, right? Let me think on that for a minute. My plan progresses. So, step 1, get more black concrete powder storage. Okay, and we'll make a black concrete storage in a little bit once I have some. Step 2, keep running this. There's really no cost to doing it other than electricity, which is gradually ticking down over here. And it's kind of fun to actually see the system work for once, right? And then over here. This is my design. Beautiful, isn't it? So down there, you can see where we will do all the work. Let me explain, okay? Because I get that this is a little bit silly. So this is a pit. I dug it just outside my tech area. In fact, this is right. It's always funny when you dig in a underground base and you're like, oh, because this cave, whoa, I can't, I have to get a little bit higher. I really need to figure out a way. Well, anyways, trust me on this. Out there is the primary mining path. And if you've watched any of my streams, you might even recognize that is the primary way out. Down here is a little pit. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a rapid hopper, a high-speed hopper, that pushes into an ender chest. And I think we can just do that right now, right? Ender chest, and make some of these. To make these, we need these, which I think I can make 2 of, no problem. And then, yeah, we'll make these, and I should have enough resources to make more of those. We'll figure out the color of this in a minute. So we'll put this at the bottom, right? And we'll make the code. How about, I know what dye we could use. I made some black dye, so let's go ahead and use that. We're gonna have a lot of it very soon. Can I get down there? Oh boy, maybe I should have. Maybe I should do it up here. There we go. They really are cool, by the way. It's a little bit dark down here. Sorry. Is it shift right click? 1, 2, 3. All black, right? That will be our code, and this is a single player world, so I don't need to worry about locking it with a diamond. Anyways, not a very big inventory, though. Can we make a rapid hopper? Yeah, these are actually really fast. They're from Little Logistics, so these pick up things faster, too. I've experienced this in another server I'm playing on. The Ars Public server. Come by and say hi. Okay, so now we've got this. Were I to toss in something like, say, logistics cables, you'll see that it vanishes real fast, and it moves real fast. Right? And that's great. Did I put the wrong... I did. Black, black, black. Right? Okay. I'll have to get my logistics cable back later. That's gone now. Oh. Classic Dave. Deep slate, please. Sure. So, next we'll need to get some water, right? And that is because we want to make the outsides of this water. Now, so the plan here, right, just in case it wasn't clear, is that we are going to be able to convert lots of concrete. Making the concrete powder, no problem. Making the concrete, though, requires wetting it. And only machines that I have tested that are distressingly slow are going to do it. And I don't want to sit around waiting forever. I don't want to build like 30 of them and then dismantle them. It feels boring. So, do we have enough resources? What's like a water thing? Does Britannia have a thing? Oh, no, you know what? Ours has a thing. And I think I might even have the spell. I don't. Stand by. Quick magical research. One thing we also need to do really quick is make a new sextant. Kieran's sextant, the one we made in the tutorial, is for putting block faces into a list. But what I want to do, actually, is put blocks themselves into a list by pointing at them. So I'm just going to quickly write up that spell. Load the list from the focus, and then put it on the bottom of the stack. Add it to the stack, and then I think we can go like this. Yeah, that's the pattern. And that will make it unique, and then write it back to the focus. All right, that should be the spell. Not going to test it, just going to go ahead and put it on the trinket. All right, we've got the tool that we need. I didn't put the Sentinel display on this tool because it shouldn't be necessary. We have a uniqueness feature, and I want to make it cheap. Oh, God, it's so loud. But it's worth it, right? You'll see that we have 3 blocks, and if I redo a block here, we still have only 3 blocks. So the uniqueness feature is pretty nice. Okay, you know what? I like you hex casting, but I really do wish that this noise was not so loud. Let's just mute that for now. Yeah, that's better. That's way better. Okay, hopefully one of these days we'll be able to get a different sound for our hex casts. Where was I? I don't know. Doesn't matter. This is a super, super cheap spell. It'll, like, run forever. I know I've done these blocks, but it doesn't matter. All right, there we go. this is our set of blocks to place. Okay. Then we need one other focus with our set of blocks to explode. Let me just put an empty list in the focus. I know that there's a pattern for this, by the way, but I never remember it. I just remember this because it's easier. There's the block one, and bam. All right. So we have one for explosion, and we have one for placement. Let's go ahead and write the spell. It's going to be pretty simple, right? Let me just get what I need all set up and manage my inventory a little bit. Excuse me, Bat, you're in my meditation seat. This is where I was going to sit down and meditate amongst the desert of the mind to write my next spell. I was going to show the viewers, and you're in my seat. You're in my seat. Could you... I mean... Please, just... I don't want to kill you. I have a great affinity for my little rodent friends. Go away! Go away. Good. We're going to do some magic here. Okay. Jeez. All right. Let's start meditating, shall we? So, the spell itself that we need is pretty simple. How are we going to start it? Well, we're going to, step 1, place a bunch of blocks. And then step 2, we're going to make an explosion to break a bunch of blocks. That's really all there is to concrete creation, right? We're going to place some blocks. They'll get wet. We'll break the blocks. Bam, we're good. So let's see here. First thing we would want to do then is break the blocks and then explode. So we actually want to do that on the stack in reverse order. We're going to build the program as if we were going to cast it right now. We're not going to cast it right now, but we're going to build it as if we were, and I'll show you why in a moment. So step 1, let's go ahead and grab the TNT focus here, right? And let's read that in, right? Then step 2, let's grab the block focus and then read that in. There we go. So now if we write a spell, that step 1 would go ahead and it would cast a place block on everything. So we know how to do that, right? And then what is place block? Place block has been broken for so long, I literally don't remember what it is. You know, I think of it as a block, but really it's just another hexagon with a line going through at an angle. All right, so we're going to place blocks, right? That's the first spell. We would want to flip the order of this. So we would add that real quick. Just do it in the corner here. And then we would Thoth, right? That would do all the stuff. Okay. Then for the second one, what we would do is we would pull out, I guess, the... we just want to do we have to do another Thoth? No, we don't. What we could do... Oh, by the way, we have an empty list or whatever left on it, so we do need to drop that now. Then we need to, we've got this empty list. Now we're here, right? We have just this left. What was Speaker's Decomposition? Another spell I often don't remember. Yeah. Counterclockwise triangles. That pulls the value out. Then we want to give it a nice explosion. What's a good explosion value? I think 3 should be enough. There's a 3. And then we explode. Right? And that's the spell. And we don't care about what happens next because the spell will be over. Okay, so now, we actually could cast this right now, but then we'd have to redo all the work. So we're actually going to use another spell called Stygian Loom. You can go on the Discord and find this and write it. It's not very hard to write, but what it does is it takes a set like this, where I have the spell I want to run on top, and then the stack as I want it. You don't have to escape or anything, right? And then all I got to do is just read the spell. Let's just make sure that we're set to the right page. Stygian Loom. Read the spell. Use Hermes to execute the spell. I have a new spell. Hopefully it works. I mean, I'm doing this blind, and I actually haven't tested whether I wrote down Stygian correctly. But, you know, let's trust ourselves. We'll put this on page 12 of 11. right? And there we go. It was quiet because we've muted that. Let's go back over and find out if I did it correctly. All right. I rewrote the spell and I figured out what's happening here. The reason that these aren't breaking is because I've claimed these chunks. So if I unclaim these chunks and yeah, we're out of the chunks, then this should work, I hope. How did it break everything but the blocks I wanted it to break? That makes... That's extremely confusing. But maybe it'll work properly with concrete? Like, this is supposed to work. I've seen people do this with TNT. What is the deal? All right, let's make some black concrete power. And it does convert, like, instantly. Do we have black concrete in here? No. And there's a cobblestone in the way down there. Wait, it is working. It was doing it so fast I couldn't even see. Look, there's tons of black concrete in here. All right. Oh, okay, I'm so relieved. I was like stressing out about this, folks. All right, so what I need to do is clear this garbage out. I need to get an extraction system out of this. That's also a rapid hopper. And then we'll put that in and we'll upgrade. And then I'm just gonna, quickly make a whole fill my inventory with black concrete powder and do the thing. I think we should have enough black dye now. Okay, you can stop clicking now. Thanks. Good. Excellent. Okay, you know what? Perfect. Okay. Folks, I got a bit of crafting to do, and then we'll quickly convert all this concrete and see if we can finish the dome. I'm so excited. All right, I think that's a lot of black concrete. I didn't actually spend that much amethyst on it. I only had to refill once, and I was going to do like a time lapse because I thought that would take me like 25, 30 minutes. It didn't. That was probably 4 minutes of concrete conversion, maybe 5 with all the little tweaks I made. Which, in case you do want to replicate, a couple of little tweaks I made was, one, you saw the obsidian frame. This helps with efficiency quite a bit. You saw that maybe in the type of occasionally a block of concrete will go flying. I don't care. I also set up hoppers at the bottom, just regular hoppers, to try and get rid of all of the wastage down there, right? And once you get going, it was really, really fast and absolutely blew through both my files of media, which I'll have to refill in a minute, but it's fine because honestly, that machine was crazy fast. So what I'm going to do now, right, is I'm going to reach into my bag. I'm going to grab my exchanging gadget. I think my personal battery is relative. Well, we'll see. But yeah, we're almost ready to just go in here. So the only problem I've got is how am I going to do the roof? I can't hover up there. It's too far. So I think I need to set up flight in this room with ours. I will do that. But I just want to see like one thing here. So if we just go into this, we get our black concrete. As you can see, we've got maybe half as much as we need, but I'm really eager to see what this is going to look like. Let's just do the walls, right? Like, there's no reason that I can't just finish the rest of this off camera. These are progress report episodes. It's like the freedom that we have. Okay. And then I want to switch this to surface. I don't want to ray trace fluid, but I do want to maybe be fuzzy. And then I want the range to be like, yeah, 15. Oh, yeah. Well, I'll fix it up. You get the idea, right? I'm going to have to tweak the settings on this and probably add a flight ritual in here. But it's starting to look really good. The only downside is this is a too wide corridor, and this area is an odd number. But we'll obfuscate that in a little bit. I have a plan for that. It'll look real good. This is starting to really come together, folks. I'm excited about it. I hope you are too. I think I have just enough to finish. I did have to go back and make a bit more. But it turns out no flight needed. I just put on my reach gear. And oh, that is so satisfying, folks. Just a super dark room. I need to go and obliterate more of the lights, right? Because the lights are ruining the effect a little bit. As for how we'll do this wall, I think Britannia has me covered. There's this abstruse platform, which should let me, with the last of my black concrete from the other harvest, should make it really easy to conceal the wall and make it so that there's, you know, sort of the illusion of a room with no exits and a room with no entrance. We can go ahead and dismantle these little bits right here real quick. And we have to move this with care because it's pretty full, right? But carry on will get us there. There we go. And my friend, you have done an excellent job. Platforms. I think they would go here. Yes. So this sits flush with the wall. Have a few extra for later, and after a moment, they become indistinguishable, but we can walk right through. This is the way. Yes, excellent. You know, folks, it's funny. In all my years of doing these Let's Plays, I've never done a room this big. I've been pathologically afraid of doing mega builds. I don't know why, but as you can see, I'm trying to push myself, and we'll do more stuff in this room. But I don't know if this room is mega. It's just kind of like XL. But, you know, we're going to be pushing ourselves. We're going to be pushing ourselves just a little bit. Now, the real problem I've got is that it's, like, genuinely a little tricky to remember where the door is. But I think that's excellent. Oh, I kind of like that when you look at it closely, it sort of gives it up. I actually kind of like that, right? It's a little bit of a hint. So I shouldn't make the same mistake I always make. I should check the time of the video. There is one more tiny build I want to do real quick, but I don't know if we have time in this episode. Let's see. All right, folks. Well, we've got a nice bite-sized episode. I just checked. So I'm not going to make the same mistake I usually make. We're going to call it here. I hope that you have enjoyed this little process. I know it's kind of a random thing, but I really want to have like a big mega room. We're pretty much ready to go upstairs. We'll do that next episode. And we're also going to start working on fighting the Wither, because I'm basically ready to get tier 3 Rs, and then we can start working on tier 4. In the meantime, I'm also doing streams and other things. It's a long weekend for me as I record this, the 4th of July weekend. So I intend to get a couple other little things out. Please remember that I am your biggest fan. And every time you come here and talk to me, I am excited about it. So I'm going to meditate and work on more hex casting spells. I hope that you've enjoyed this, and I'll see you next time.